Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Sorvent's non-meta tournament number 5, top 4. These are two players who made it to top 4, obviously myself down at the bottom, as well as Hexagon up at the top. Hexagon was on like a water deck, like Mermail Atlantean, and myself down at the bottom. Well, you'll just have to see, I guess. I think I've featured myself here before, but I'm basically on Chaos Thunder Dragon Link, there were a couple hits to Thunder Dragon in a previous tournament. After the previous tournament, I guess this tournament they got hit, but I still decided to be on them because I think that they are very powerful cards. So he starts off with a copy of Mori of Greed. I tell him, sure, there's no Ash, and he goes ahead and shuffles 2 back and draws 3. So he draws onto a copy of Mizuchi, which is a spell negate, Lapis Dragon, and a Deep Sea Diva. Lapis Dragon's pretty nice here since he can just special summon it for free. And Deep Sea Diva is limited, but he still happened to draw it, which is pretty nice. So drawing, get special summoning a copy of Neptibus from the deck, which is also limited. He can use Neptibus' effect to send Dragoons to add a copy of Dragoons as well. And then he can also use Dragoon's effect to add Megalo from deck to hand. So I told him I'll tell him when I got something so he can just continue playing. But a cool thing that I noticed is that Deep Sea Diva is a 1-card Synchro 8. So that's pretty cool since you can, special the Neptibus, Dragoon, search Dragoons, and then off of the, instead of searching for the Megalo like he searched, he can search for Lapis Dragon, which will special summon itself. So he would just not have the Megalo in hand. And then he can synchro for 6 here into start his Charge Warrior, and then synchro into 8 for like a Crystal Wing, and you get a draw out of it, so that's pretty cool. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't lock you in anything, it's just a couple of bricks since you have to play the Neptibus, the Lapis Dragon, and the Goons, but I don't think that realistically matters. He's going to go ahead and special summon Megalo by discarding a Goons and a Launcher. Then he can go ahead and get the effect of Megalo as well as the effect of Goons to search. So he searches for a heavy inventory as well as, I believe it's the Kraken one, which negates a monster effect. So then Fishborg Launcher is going to come back since there are only waters in his grave. And then I believe he synchros here. But yep, so he's going to go ahead and synchro into Crocosaur, or Croco Dragon rather, and it gets him 2 free draws here and an interruption on my turn if he so wishes to keep it. And he also activates Deep Sea Diva, banishing a water from the grave, to search for a Sea Serpent monster, being another copy of Heavy Inventory, which is also not once returned, so that's pretty nice for him since he could just leak off these Deep Sea Diva as well as the Lapis Dragon into the Abyss Alatia, which will get him a search as well as he has pop. So I believe he has 2 pops actually, since he can actually discard for this Archosaur as well. So I think if he discards like Heavy Inventory and Mori of Greed, he can get an extra pop as well as the pop from Infantry. So 2 pops, and then a 3rd pop off of the Abyss Alatia, and then a spell and a monster negate. So 5 interruptions. It's pretty crazy. I don't think I can really play, especially since my hand didn't really, I didn't draw super great. So yeah, I start off with a Search of Thunder Dragon, searching 2 more. I'm just trying to see if he can do anything, or if I can do anything really. So Dragon Ravine, I'm going to go ahead and discard. Oh, I don't discard actually. I decided to wait on that since it'll just negate the effect anyway. So I don't think there's a reason for me to use it. Although I could just to bait it out, but I don't know. I realize I go into battle phase with Chaos Valk and I realize oh, she's actually huge because this gives boost. It gets a 1200 boost, so it's at 28. So I was like, yeah, well, that's pretty good. So in main phase 2, I use the Ravine to bait out the Mizuchi since it kills itself. So I figured I might as well at least get one thing out of it. Abyss Alatia is going to be used here. It's going to pop my Chaos Valk, and he's going to search for a Teus. Draws for turn, and he's going to go with a Murray of Greed to draw 3 more cards. Drawing into another copy of Heavy Inventory, I think. That's pretty nice. I guess maybe he shuffled that back and drew it again. I don't know. Then he's going to go with a Teus, discarding the Fishborg Launcher. And then he's going to get a search for Abyss Gunday. Bring back the Fishborg Launcher, and he can synchro off into a Dragite, which is a spell negate. So he just set up another negate for the Ravine for the next turn. And I'm pretty sure he had game, so I just said, yeah, GG, you got it pretty much. So moving into game number 2. I opt to go first this time. and we can see what I do with this hand. So I go ahead and start off with a black metal dragon, and it looks like I'm playing it in no hand traps, so this should be pretty clear. So I go ahead and special summon a copy of Guard Dragon Pitsy, search for Red Eyes Darkness Metal, special it by banishing the Pitsy, and then bringing back the black metal dragon. Linking those off, I can go into a Romulus, and Romulus's effect and black metal's effect to search for a copy of Malefic Red Eyes, as well as the Dragon Ravine. So a lot of good potential here. So I go with the Ravine, discarding Absa, and I can send a dragon from deck to grave. So I can send this Odd Eyes Revolution dragon. I send it because I can banish for a chaos monster, because I do need like a dark in the graveyard, and I can also like add this back, or sorry, a light in the graveyard, and I do want like the Chaos Emperor effect as well. So there was a lot of stuff there. Quick Launch is going to special Tracer. Tracer is going to pop the Dragon Ravine, special summoning Silver Rocket. And then I can synchro for 8 into Chaos Ruler. I'm locked into Dark Monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, but I don't think it matters. Unfortunately, I don't think my mills are too great, but I do pick up the Thunder Dragon here just to get some extra advantage rolling. And I synchro off, or not synchro, but link off into a Heretic Seals for an extra bounce. Then I can use this Chaos Ruler's effect to banish a light monster as well as dark monster out of my grave. So I go ahead and banish this Matrix. And then I can go ahead and search for a copy of Matrix off of that as well. Tempest effect is going to banish the Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon and the Red Eyes from the graveyard. And then I can go ahead and I believe I activate, the Chaos Emperor's effect. I pay 1,000 and I can go ahead and bring back any dragon monster from my extra deck, or from my banish zone. So I bring back the Odd Eyes Revolution, use the effect, paying 500 to grab another copy of Chaos Ruler. I think I definitely misplayed here. I think I could have got more advantage, at least off of the Chaos Ruler, by banishing the Tempest, or having the Tempest banish the Revolution, and I think I banished like the Silver Rocket or the Red Eyes, I don't remember. And then I could have used the Chaos Emperor's effect to grab the Revolution, discard it, or I don't even have to discard it actually. I could have just kept it in my hand and then used the Scale effect to bring back the Chaos Ruler, and then used it as link material right here for like an IP. And then I could have used the Chaos Ruler's effect, banishing a light and dark out of the grave, probably the Revolution or even the Matrix. Bring it back, special back the Chaos Emperor from the extra deck, and then make a rank 8. So I would have had Heretic Seals IP and a rank 8. I think I misplay here though. But I still maybe can make a rank 8. So yeah, I do make the Zombie Stein, but I could have also backed it up with an IP. So I would have just had an extra card, but I kind of missed that. Thunder Dragon is going to use its effect to search for 2 more copies of itself. I might as well just get the free search, I guess, and I can scale it. I decide to, so I don't have to discard for hand size limit. I guess I could have kept the Thunder Dragon in hand, so I didn't have to do that, but as you will see, this actually punishes me scaling this card. So he draws return. And as you can tell in his hand, actually, yeah, so the Medallion of the Ice Barrier is actually going to come in clutch here. So he's going to go ahead and search for a copy of Medium of the Ice Barrier. And if it says if your opponent controls 4 or more cards than you do. So unfortunately, I have 4 cards on the field. So that is 4 more than he does. So he's going to go ahead and special summon this monster for free. And I'm locked into spells and traps, but this is just a free extender pretty much. So it is going to punish me. So he's going to go ahead and use Abyss Megalo's effect to discard 2 other waters, being Marksman as well as Fishborg Launcher. I believe Marksman won't be able to use its effect. Yeah, it's just a set card your opponent controls, which I don't have any. Then he can use the Megalo's effect to search for one of the oh, it looks like he actually missed the search. Okay. But then he's gonna go ahead and use the effect of Fishborg Launcher to bring itself back. I can go ahead and hit it here. I just decided to like try and bounce it, and then I special summon a copy of Galactic Spiral Dragon from the main deck, and then he goes ahead and normal summons Diva, I believe. So yeah, he's really annoyed at Zombie Stein since it's so huge, but if I just bait it out, then if he baits it out, he can just clear over my field. So I use a Zombie Stein, and then I negate the effect of Diva. It switches it to defense. Not the Diva. The Diva stays in attack mode, and I do have to discard as well. So I discard the Malefic Red Eyes out of my hand. I probably could have discarded a light monster as well, but I have 2 lights on grave, so I don't think it's going to matter too much. So yeah. And yeah, he just realized he forgot the Megalo search, but I don't think it's going to matter here. He's going to link off or synchro off into a Ravenous Crocosaur, drawing, I say Crocosaur, it's Croco Dragon. But he draws a card, drawing into Neptibus, which is probably one of the other better cards he could have drawn. So he just kind of has to think here. I think he just uses the effect discarding 2 to go ahead and pop my Galactic Spiral Dragon. It probably would have been better to pop anything else since the Galactic Spiral Dragon's attack was 0. So I'm not sure. Like, with the monsters he had on the field at the time, he had what? The medium of the Ice Barrier, a Deep Sea Diva, and this Megalo. So I believe that Megalo could have swung over the Tempest, the Medallion could have swung over the Zombie Stein, and the Diva could have swung over the Galactic Spiral Dragon. But as you'll see here, I think he gets pretty lucky. So he's going to go ahead and use Neptibus's effect to go ahead and special summon a water back from the grave. So he's going to special back Marksman. And he's going to link off into a copy of Coral Anemone, which will bring back this Neptibus. And then he can use Neptibus's effect to send a Dragoon, I believe. Yeah, so he's going to send Dragoons, add a copy of Heavy Infantry, and special summon, or search for a Lapis Dragon and special off of its own effect. And then he can synchro into Brionac. Using Brionac's effect, he can bounce this Tempest or the Zombie Stein. I don't think it really realistically matters. And then the copy of Heavy Infantry can destroy my Zombie Stein. Then at this point, he has enough damage on board. So me paying the 1500 actually mattered here. So I don't think I should have searched for the Chaos Emperor. I think that was a pretty big punish on my part. So he can attack for 47 and 67 total. So if I wouldn't have searched off of the Chaos, or off of the copy of Chaos Emperor, I'd still be in the game. So unfortunately, he is just going to go ahead and attack for 6,700 damage. So that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was kind of like basically one-sided. I think I definitely like misplayed on my part. I mean, hindsight's kind of 20/20, you know. I couldn't really tell that he was going to have the medium of the Ice Barrier, although I saw it in game 1, so I probably should have played around it by not having 4 cards on the field, but you know, it happens sometimes. I didn't really expect it to just kind of you know, run me over pretty much. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for, I guess, what normally would be the 3rd place match, but I have another feature match from round 2 taking its place, which I think is just as enjoyable. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.